Howdy do, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Well, today we're just doing something simple here. We're snapping, or in my case, I'm cutting green beans. Some people do this. They snap them apart. I like to be a little bit more precise when I do my green beans here. I like to give them a little snip with either a pair of shears or, in this case, a pocket knife. Doing about 10 pounds of these bad boys. Already got a head start on you guys. Probably did about a pound. And it's going to be a long day. You're not going to come with me the whole time. I just figured I'd start this old video. Because this activity here, it reminds me of days past, if you will. I used to go to my great-grandma's, and I know not everybody gets to know their great-grandparents. I was lucky enough to know my great-grandma, and this is one of the activities, summertime activities that is, that we would enjoy every year, and sit down at the big green, sorry about that. Sit down at the big green picnic bench. I have aunts and great aunts, and no, I didn't almost stab myself. Great aunts and my mom and my grandma, my great uncle. We'd all sit on this couple of picnic tables, snapping beans, after, of course, they went out and picked them from my grandma's garden. And it would be just a whole lot of chuckling and laughing and people sharing stories. And occasionally, I remember we would get a cousin or two from far off distant places like Alaska. I have second, third, fourth cousins, whatever, up there in Alaska. We'd all sit down and enjoy their company because we haven't seen them in a long while. We would snap beans. Sometimes we'd be shucking corn because canning season's upon you, you know. And just good reason to get the family together and do a little work. And it was a great way to make the work fun. And I was thinking, hey, people don't do this much anymore, do they? They don't get together, sit at a table. As you can see, I'm by myself. I've actually put my kids in the house. Don't worry, got the old fancy child monitoring device here. Make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to. Kids are in the house watching the idiot tube, and nobody else is here. Then again, I did have to go to the farmer's store to get these because nobody has a big enough garden for that, to where it's, you know, a freebie, if you will. But yeah, it's kind of sad that people don't do things like this, where they do a little work and gives them a good opportunity to talk to each other and you know, enjoy the good times. Most people, I think, nowadays, if they do anything with their family, it's, you know, sitting down for movies and stuff that keeps you silent. That's not good. Not good at all. I mean, here at our house, we've gone back to, in recent years, sitting around a dining table and eating, because it brings everybody together. Makes it a reason that people have to sit and look at each other in the eye and, forces conversation, if you will. Granted, my 5-year-old isn't much for intelligible conversation just yet. He's more goes off on ramblings and horribly crafted jokes. But, it forces us together. But you don't see that from an extended family standpoint anymore. I think there's people out there that have grandparents that are around and, never see them. They're maybe a phone call or two over the holidays, and that's it. Everybody's wrapped up in their own little world. So, my goal with my gardening that you've been seeing me do, other than throwing things in the wrong pot, is to one day maybe bring people together again in my family for activities such as this, because it does really force people that, let's say, just avoid each other, if you will, to kind of come together, because they got to get their free beans and do a little work to get them, and we're actually going to pressure can these, which is a more involved process, but people freeze them. But we're trying to work to free up freezer space in our house, so we don't want to do that this year. But yeah, dropping beans. I wonder what your thoughts are out there in YouTube world. Do you think that people need to be doing this more? Do you think that this might be a better solution than what's going on in the world today? Because I think that's where I stand on the issue. I think there were just too much apartness, not enough togetherness around here. And I think simple activity like snapping beans, forcing conversations, forcing people to come together, just at the family level, forcing people to come together, could do a lot of people some good that they otherwise avoid and get to harbor more resentment. I think it really forces, or not forces, but really allows people to do stupid and think silly things. So, I don't know. Really don't know. But I think this is a good part of trying to heal the world, if you will. Not making my own food, but doing something that brings people back to the dinner table. I think we ought to stop eating in front of the TVs. I think it's hurting more than it's helping. Sure, it's an easy way to say babysit your children while you're trying to get an activity done, but when you're an adult, I think there's something wrong with you if you don't want to talk to people. Because I tell you what, this activity goes a lot faster with help. It's a lot more fun when there's somebody to talk to. Obviously, since I brought out the camera, I have to make up that I'm talking to somebody now, which feels a touch on the sad side, but maybe not. Maybe this is good, if you would call it therapy. So, well, I think I better let you guys go. It looks like my timer says it's been about 10 minutes of me rambling on. I don't even know if this is going to be coherent enough to put on YouTube. But we'll see. That's a bad bean right there. See that bruisey spot in there? We're going to get rid of that. Alright. Well, see what kind of trouble I can get into tomorrow. Thanks for being here with me, snapping beans.